TCS result down, Infosys result also down, and even HCL Technology that is also down. Now you must be surprised why all these IT stocks results are coming so bad and what are the reason behind it. Today in this video we are going to talk about reason behind why all IT sectors are underperforming currently, and also among TCS, Infosys and HCL Technology, which is the best stock you can invest from here. These are all large cap stocks. So one of the best large cap stock which you want to invest, that we are going to talk in detail about. So guys, it will be a very informative video. Now let us talk about IT sector in detail, why this IT sector is not performing. One of the main reason why this sector is not performing is that the slowdown in US and Europe. You know, the banking sector, that is BFSI sector in US and Europe has a complete slowdown. Now 90% of most of the IT companies in India are doing an export, that is nothing but to giving services to BFSI sector in USA and Europe. What is BFSI? BFSI is nothing but banking, financial services industry. That is what they are talking about, and this industry is currently not performing. You know, if you remember 6 to 7 months back when there was an SVB issue and so many banks issue, that is a small banks across USA, there was a big crisis, and all these companies are giving services to many of these banking sector, and that is why there is a slowdown there. And also inflation across USA, Europe is going up, and this is where many of the companies are renegotiating terms with many of the IT majors in India, talking about many, like if you talk about TCS, Infosys, HCL Technology, Tech Mahindra, and so many others are there which are providing service to all these companies, and they are renegotiating the term, and that is what is going against the profitability of a company. That is why now the results are not coming good. The main reason is that slowdown in US and Europe. Also, yes, one of the counter argument, you can say that dollar is getting stronger. So yeah, that is one positive point. But unless and unless Euro and USA does not come up, IT sector will face an issue. And when US and Europe will come up, if you talk about banking sector and all that, when the interest rate goes down in US and Europe, when Fed in USA will reduce the interest rate, but they can reduce only when there is the less inflation. But currently, if you see, the inflation is on a higher side in US, and again the GDP data which coming, that is also showing good. So I cannot see in near future, maybe in 3 months, 6 months, there will be a big drop in inflation. So yes, IT majors will face a problem. But as always said, no, when there is an adversity, that is where you have to take benefit of that. So let us talk now about these IT companies in detail. How was their quarterly result and which is the best stock among TCS, HCL, Infosys, which you can bet it. First, let us talk about how the software and IT services has performed in last quarter. If you talk about overall, the revenue is up across IT sector is almost 6.5%. I'm talking about IT overall. Even the gross profit is up around 7% and the net profit is up around 6.5%. Now let us start talking about individual companies. So first let us talk about TCS, how the TCS result was there against the estimates by the analysts. Against the estimates, TCS result was okay, little bit down only. If you talk about revenue, the revenue was almost 1% down against the estimates given by the analysts. Again, the net profit is down by almost 0.24%. Now, if you talk about EPS, there is not a major change. But however, if you talk about the against the estimate, the result was little bit down. If you talk about Infosys, the revenue was up by almost 1.66% against the estimates given by the analysts. If you talk about the net profit actually it was down by 0.50%. So that shows that yes, at net profit level, Infosys has not done so well against the estimates. Yes, EPS was almost same. If you talk about HCL, the revenue was down by 0.60% against the estimate, but at a net profit level, HCL has done very well. They have almost outperformed the estimate by 3.4%. However, EPS, there was no change. So overall, if you talk about results, no, all the three companies has a mixed bag. But if you talk about anyone has outperformed the estimates, no one has outperformed. Their result was mixed bag only. Talking about TCV, that is nothing but a total contract value. Let us talk about first TCS company. TCS company has a good total contract value of 11.2 billion, which is far better than last 6 quarters. So slowly and gradually that total contract value is going up. That's a positive sign. Even for Infosys, the TCV stands at 7.7 billion USD. Now that is also a good jump against the last few quarters. Now they have got a good large deals, of course new and existing deals together. If you talk about constant currency growth of HCL, the constant currency growth in last 2 quarters was quite weak. It was negative, but yes, this time it is 1%. But overall, if you see constant currency growth of HCL, is not so great. Overall, if you talk about TCS Q2 result, the result was okay, but the main positive was that large contract deal which they won. So TCV stands about 11.2 billion, which is a very good sign. Of course, some of the deal was gone out from their hand, but yes, overall it is okay. But yes, till the BFSI sector is recovered at US, they will face a lot of issue. From here, it looks like no, they are able to compress their margin, and you can see at a attrition level also there is a slowdown in attrition level. But one thing is that they are not giving employment to the new employees. So yes, new employment is stopped now. They are working on their cost structure much more, and in past the model of TCS was not actually giving so much result the way Infosys was giving the result. They are working on that also. But talking about the future, this looks like a big elephant. From here, I think TCS will move, but not at the same pace it used to do earlier. From here, because the company is so big and they are not getting so big deals now, because see, understand, as you become bigger and bigger, you should have so much of animation in your hand so that you can have a good run over the time, which I feel for the TCS it's look hard to do. So from here also, things are okay. I'm not saying it is not okay, but you can think about a good return of 12 to 15%, maybe 12 to 14% return from here. Otherwise, TCS overall, it will give you a steady return of around 12 to 14. So if you're thinking like that, yes, you can go for that. Also keep in mind that all these companies are working on general AI. They are working on artificial intelligence that will boost their growth along with the TCS, Infosys and HCL. All these companies are good. Now let us talk about Infosys result. Infosys result, they also won a very good mega deals. Like they have a total TCV of 7.7 billion, which is good. In last few quarters, TCS outperformed across IT sectors, because the way the Infosys has performed, that shows that their management is quite strong and they have a very good vision from here. So thinking about that, current quarterly result was not so great, which used to there in last few quarters. Now Infosys has raised their bar, but from here also I think they will recover. And Infosys, talking about Infosys, they may give you much far better because the way they are working on their model and the way they are synchronizing all the latest technology, and also they are working in detail about artificial intelligence. You know that they are having a big contract with US company, big AI company, which will boost their services from here. Also, they are working on their attrition level. Also new, of course, employment is they have stopped now. But TCS and Infosys, if you compare, I think Infosys has an edge. Now let us talk about HCL Technology. If you talk about HCL Technology, they will grow by 2 to 3% constant currency growth. However, if you talk about Infosys, that constant currency growth was around 9%. They, of course, they won currently a good amount of deals, but still they are far behind compared to all these major companies. Their growth is not so stable the way Infosys and TCS are having. So that will be in a backdrop of all the investors, whether they should invest in HCL or not. Constant currency is an issue. Growth basically, because see, constant currency growth, if it is not, then there is a problem about the future availability and also feasibility. So as a stock market investor, you should always think about the future, and that is why constant currency plays a big role. So if you talk about all the three, Infosys, TCS and HCL, I think Infosys is much better place compared to other two, which is what I can see from here. And in last few quarters also, Infosys has done better. Overall, when I compare TCS, Infosys and HCL, let us compare with the valuation front. Valuation front, if you talk about P ratio, everyone is around 22 to 25. Of course, TCS is having the highest. If you talk about ROE, TCS is having the highest, which is around 44. Then comes Infosys around 31 and HCL is around 23. If you talk about P, the inexpensive is much more HCL because they are trading at around 22 P. However, if you talk about TCS, it is around 25, 26 and also Infosys around 24. So that shows that yes, HCL, you may feel it is much more decently available at a valuation front, but whether it will able to catch up for the future or not, that is the main question you have to ask. Now, as you are aware, I given my verdict about these three companies. I think Infosys you can prefer, but now let us talk about IT industry overall. Whether this overall the IT industry is going to perform or not, and what is the future aspects about overall IT industry. You know, IT sector is a backbone of Indian GDP. Okay, 8% of Indian GDP is earned through IT sector. You know, which is one of the biggest exporting sector of India. Now in future, IT looks much better from here. Of course, when the world recovers, IT industry will also recover. They are getting big deals across the companies. But in this, you have to understand which is the best company you can bet on. As and when in next 6 months, 1 year, when the world economy is going to recover, I think IT industry is going to recover. And all these IT companies are joining hand with artificial intelligence, because see, at the end, future is of artificial intelligence. You know, NVIDIA just has a recent contract with HCL, also with Infosys. They have big contract, and Indian companies knows that they have to adopt artificial intelligence in a big way if they really want to go ahead in for the future. This is IT industry is one of the biggest employer in India, and which is continue to be. So I don't think that there is a big problem in IT industry. It is a phase. Every industry goes in a phase, a sector goes in a phase where it may there at a lower level for a long period of time, maybe 1, 2, 3 years. But overall, I think IT industry is going to recover in a good way. Future lies for this IT industry because everything is digitalized, correct? You know, again, Indian IT industry are focusing on BFSI and so many other sectors also, and they have a bright future. If these sectors are having a bright future, the service provider will also have a bright future. So you always have to think like this. No, don't get carried away by small drop and a good amount of drop in the IT industry, because this is like a phases. And if you talk about from the top also, no, all these companies are down by maybe around 15 to 20%, not like 40-50%. So this gives an opportunity to accumulate at a lower level. Overall, IT industry is in a big bull run. From if you talk about Indian GDP, from $3.5 trillion, it will reach to almost $10 trillion over the time. Then ITV is going to play a big role. So this is what is my take about IT industry. And talking about HCL, TCS, Infosys, I'll bet you that you can buy Infosys for the future, which looks much more promising. So hope you like the video. If you like it, then just click the like button and also do subscribe our channel. Also, if you want to know how to do all this type of analysis, fundamental analysis, also macro analysis, world overview and all that, we do conduct a session every week. The link will be given below. You can click it and enjoy that session. It is free of charge. The costing is almost 1500 rupees. I am going to give you completely free. So do click the button and do attend that session. That workshop will be very useful to you. So see you soon then. Bye guys. Stay in touch and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.